mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit, draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit, draw near. Spirit, draw near. Come as you are, as you were, as love wants you to be, as a friend among friends, in your own harmony. Take your time, have no fear, the choice is yours and we're all here. Take a rest, ease your mind, come on home, right now's the time. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit, draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit, draw near. Spirit, draw near.
Support for WBFO, your NPR station, comes from our members and from the Unitarian Universalist of Amherst. UU Amherst is an open-minded, open-hearted faith community whose members value love, learning, and hope. The UU's mission is to foster compassion, justice, and interdependence on earth. UU of Amherst is located at 6320 Main Street in Williamsville and has a Living Green Festival September 9th through 11th. www.uuamherst.org.
Merry meet. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Amherst. I'm Reverend Michelle Buhite, the minister of this congregation. My pronouns, which I offer to create a truly inclusive and brave space for all to live into the fullness of their identities, are she and her. I'm joined up front today by our Director of Faith Development, Angela Warren. As Unitarian Universalists, we are people of the wide path, engaging in a free and responsible search for truth and meaning, and coming together to make a difference. We are so glad that you have chosen to be here with us, virtually and in person. For those gathered in the chapel, I invite you to put your phones on reverence mode, silencing them so that you and all may be fully present and free from distraction. The order of our time together, our order of service, will take the path of the labyrinth, entering, engaging, and emerging. We enter into this sacred time set aside for the purpose of recognizing and paying attention to that which our soul requires. Now, you may have noticed on your way in that there is a round table with rocks and things on a table next to it. We are beginning a new liturgy, I think. Liturgy means the work of the people, and it depends on all of us to create this moment of beauty and a morning altar as we come in. So I've brought in some rocks, and some folks are starting to bring things in. You can bring things that will just live for that day, or you can add to our supply of standby things. But the whole purpose of this is to, together, create a moment of beauty, sort of a meditation place, and also to recognize impermanence. The flower petals that we place around that table will not look the same even tomorrow as they look today. And so next week we start with a blank slate, and we bring whatever energy we bring into the room, we bring that to this space. So I encourage you to participate in that. Today, it's not done. It will continue to emerge. I just ask that you not detract from something that someone has already begun. Just add, and it will change and flow as we change and flow. So that is a new thing that we are doing, and you are more than welcome to participate. So I know it's been such a boring weekend around here. And that's a lie of the first order. It's been a very exciting weekend as we did our very first full Living Green Festival. And it took many, many, many months and many hands and many hearts to make that happen. And so if you had a part in any of it, passing out brochures to businesses, being here all weekend, doing the thing, I would ask you, if you're able to rise, and if rising is hard, just raise your hand. I'd like to see who all has been part of this. Yeah. And I see you folks on YouTube. I see you. Thank you. You were also here. So thank you, thank you. As part of our Living Green Festival, my friend, the Reverend Mark Chaffin, was here to offer forest bathing and other experiences out in our backwoods, and so he has agreed to be part of our time today as we offer our land and water acknowledgement. So Mark. Microphone, yeah.
Each of us is part of the interdependent, kin-centric ecosystem of the Lake Erie Niagara River watershed.
As we gather, we acknowledge that our church is built on occupied land that once belonged to the First Nations people of this region, the Haudenosaunee, and the people known as the Neutrals before them. May we be good stewards of the land and courageously cultivate community with all living things. We offer a libation of gratitude. And now we begin our chalice rite. This has changed somewhat with my arrival, and so music will be playing, and then during the musical interlude, our chalice bearers will bring the flame forward. Oh. I feel like there should be sound.
Drink deep of living waters, without cup and close to the ground. Wade with bare feet where love of life abounds. Come drink deep.
From the bright, warm spirit of our gathered flame, we light a candle of remembrance for all those lost in the 9/11 attacks, as well as those impacted and lost in the decades of the so-called war on terror. May the light of love shine in us and through us. Thank you, chalice bearers.
Join me as I am one and you are many. The words are projected on your screen. We bid you welcome, who come with weary spirit seeking rest.
Who come with troubles that...
I don't know. Oh. We bid you welcome, who come with hope in your heart.
Who come with anticipation in your steps, who come proud and joyous.
We bid you welcome, who are seekers of a new faith.
Who come to grow and explore, who come to learn.
We bid you welcome, who enter this hall as a homecoming.
Who found here room for your spirit, who find in this people a family.
Whoever you are, whatever you are, wherever you are on your journey, we bid you welcome.
This morning we celebrate our annual Ingathering, made especially meaningful as the culmination of our Living Green Festival. I am so grateful to the Green Justice team and the many folks that were wrangled to make it happen. We did it, which is amazing. Together we have shown what it means to be a beloved community. And what do I mean by beloved community? I mean a gathering of people who have chosen to journey together, to encourage one another, and to be part of something important and life-changing. Because we aspire to be such a people, we make bold promises about how we will be with one another. Please join me as we affirm the sacred promises that we have pledged. Together we promise to gather in compassionate community, to celebrate diversity of thought and unity of spirit, and to seek wholeness for ourselves, our children, and our world. Our time for all ages today is a story entitled Higgins, A Drop with a Dream, written by my friend and colleague, the Reverend Chris Bice in the Tennessee Valley. And it starts on its own.
Once upon a time, there was a drop of water named Higgins. Higgins was no ordinary drop of water. He was a drop with a dream. Higgins lived in a valley where it had not rained in a very long time. So all the lovely green grass was turning brown, and all the beautiful flowers were wilting, and all the trees were starting to droop. Higgins had a dream that one day the valley would be a beautiful place again. But what could he do? After all, he was only a drop of water. One day, Higgins decided to travel and tell others about his dream. All the other drops listened very politely, but no one believed that his dream would come true. "Higgins," said one, "get your head out of the clouds. You can't spend your whole life dreaming." Higgins decided that he had to do something to make his dream come true. So he began to think and think and think. And one day, as he was walking by a rusty old bucket, He got an idea. If enough of us drops of water get together in this bucket, Higgins thought, there would be enough water to sprinkle on a few flowers to help them grow and become beautiful again. Eagerly, Higgins told everyone his great idea, but everyone thought he was being foolish. Higgins is nothing but a dreamer, they said. Higgins decided that he had to do something to convince the others that he was right. So he said to them, I don't know about you, but I'm getting into the bucket, and I hope some of you will join me. Then there might be enough water to help at least some flowers grow beautiful again. So Higgins ran as hard as he could and hopped way up in the air and landed with a kerplunk in the bottom of the bucket. And there he sat, just a drop and a bucket. For a long time, Higgins was very lonely. It seemed like no one else was going to join him. But after a while, some of the other drops could see that the grass was dying, and the flowers were wilting, and the trees were drooping. They all agreed that something must be done. Suddenly, one drop shouted, I'm going in the bucket with Higgins. And he leaped through the air and landed kerplunk in the bucket. Then two other drops yelled, Wait for us! And they hopped through the air and landed in the bucket. Then 10 drops jumped through the air into the bucket, then 30, then 50, then hundreds of drops came from all around just to hop into the bucket. Soon, the bucket was completely full of water, but there was still more drops that wanted to join. So they found another bucket and hopped in. And before long, there were 2 buckets of water, then 3, then 4, then 10, then hundreds, and then thousands of buckets of water. Along came a powerful breeze that blew over all the buckets, and all the water flowed together to make a mighty stream. Flowers bloomed, and the trees stood tall and straight once more. All of this happened because Higgins had a dream, and his dream came true. Because he knew that although he was just a drop in a bucket, enough drops in the bucket make a bucket full. And when there are enough buckets with the wind behind them, then justice will roll down like waters and righteousness of a mighty stream.
Each of us carries with us into this time cares and concerns, joys and sorrows. Together, we create the container where we can put down our burdens, knowing that they are held gently by this gathered community. For those joining virtually, I invite you to give voice to that which is on your heart by typing it into the chat on the live stream. For those here in the chapel, I invite you to come forward and place a stone or shell on the table labyrinth in recognition of that which is on your heart. Please join me in this communal response. In this gathered community, please join me as we sing Spirit of Life. The words will be on the screen, or it is in the gray hymnal, number 123. Spirit of life, come unto me, sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion, blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me.
As a side note, if you know someone who plays the piano, I wouldn't mind their phone number. With ritual and song, we have entered the labyrinth of connection and transformation. We find ourselves now at the center, ready to engage hearts and minds. We begin with some words from Reverend Susan Frederick Gray, President of the Unitarian Universalist Association, who greets us on this Ingathering Sunday.
Hello, Unitarian Universalists. I'm the Reverend Susan Frederick Gray, President of your Unitarian Universalist Association. It is so good to be with you for another season of Ingathering. This time marks the end of summer, when we come together to renew our commitments to each other, to our Unitarian Universalist communities, and to begin another vital year of ministry. In the summer months, I hope that you and your loved ones found some time to rejuvenate your bodies and spirits, to rest, to enjoy the long summer days, to pursue hobbies that bring you joy. I know that the world is all too much, and it matters that we take time to rest. For rest is necessary for the quality of our lives, of our ministries, and of our spirits. We are all living in what I have come to call a liminal time, a time in between. The pandemic has upended so much. After 2 years plus of virtual and hybrid gatherings in our congregations, the ways in which people connect to religious community has broadened, and new patterns are still emerging. On so many levels, what comes next is still unfolding and being imagined. As Unitarian Universalists, we are called to care for each other and to create resilient, theologically imaginative spiritual community that sustains us and inspires us as we navigate what's to come and what is needed. And there is so much needed. From support access to reproductive care, to showing up through UU the Vote to elect leaders that will work to protect our children, our planet, our future, and our deeply held values. It also matters that we attend to doing the fundamentals of religious community, like supporting children and families recovering from, and in some cases still experiencing, the collective trauma of the last few years. Our world needs our message of love and justice. Our world needs brave, bold, and loving communities that are in the struggle for equity, dignity, and compassion. One way to join with your sibling Unitarian Universalists in this work is through UU the Vote. You can find out more at uuthevote.org. Your Unitarian Universalist Association is the embodiment of the covenant that all of our congregations make to each other to support each other. And the UUA is here because of your commitment to make and support and amplify our values, to support each of our congregations in their time of need, and to be more than any of us are alone. At the UUA, we are committed to being steadfast partners with you in this liminal time and in all that is ahead. As you gather in this sacred hour and join again in community, may we each remember the hundreds and thousands of Unitarian Universalists that are gathering all across our association, celebrating and calling themselves back into the power and the possibility of faithful community. For we are not alone, and we make each other strong. I send you my love and my blessings as we enter this new congregation year and celebrate Ingathering. Much love and deep care to all of you.
As we prepare for our water ingathering rite, I offer a call to engagement from the Reverend Karen Johnston. This is a call to flow as the river flows, effortless and mighty, to find hope in each other, to inspire each other, to never go it alone. This is a call to new beginnings, to new creations, to new chances to do good deeds, to forgive and seek forgiveness and be written into the book of life. This is a call to offer solace when it is needed and where, to find joy whenever it offers itself up in the now of every moment. This is a call to find your heart's most precious intention, letting it have its wild way with you. This is a call to come back, come home, come to your senses, come to yourself, come to your whole and holy self. This is a call for body and soul, for each and every, to be healed by flowing waters, by mighty waters, by sacred waters that show us the way. Come, let us worship together. We're going to begin that with a song of intention. If you were here last week, I expect that you remember every note. Okay, we'll review it once, maybe a couple of times, because not everyone was here last week. So I'm going to take myself over to the piano so I don't start us in a key that we can't finish with. And I'll sing it through once, and then from the piano, I'll sing a phrase, and then you'll sing a phrase. And then I will scamper back up here, because that's how I do things now. And we will sing it through 3 times, but not as a round. You're welcome. Okay, so even if you were here, hello? Even if you were here last week, just let me sing it through once, just in case you don't remember quite all the notes, okay? So it goes like this. We are weaving our lives. We are weaving our hearts and our minds. We are weaving the bright and dark threads of our journeys through. So now I'll sing a phrase and you sing the phrase. I'm going to try to play the notes with my right hand, and do relative pitch awareness with my left hand. And then with my tentacles, no. So that's how it feels some days. Okay, so I sing and then you sing. We are weaving our lives. We are weaving our lives. We are weaving our hearts and our minds. We are weaving our hearts and our minds. We are weaving the bright and dark threads. We are weaving the bright and dark threads of our journeys through, of our journeys through. Let's do it all together. We are weaving our lives. We are weaving our hearts and our minds. We are weaving the bright and dark threads of our journeys through. We're doing so well with the piano. We're not going to try it a cappella. 2 more times all together with our friend the piano. Here we go. We are weaving our lives. We are weaving our hearts and our minds. We are weaving the bright and dark threads of our journeys through. We are weaving our lives. We are weaving our hearts and our minds. We are weaving the bright and dark threads of our journeys through. Our lives are so fleeting and so connected. Author and researcher Brené Brown asserts that humans require 3 things to thrive: a sense of belonging, meaning, and purpose. Today we enact these necessities as we affirm our belonging in beloved community through meaningful ceremony and renewed shared purpose. You can choose to belong here. We are the church of open minds, loving hearts, and helping hands. Our shared values of individual inherent worth and dignity, promoting justice, equity, and compassion, respect for the web of life, and the freedom to responsibly search for truth and meaning are what bind us together. We don't have to believe the same things or define what is of ultimate importance to us with the same words. Even with all of that freedom, we are not free to believe whatever we want. Wait, what? We value science and reason, and we heed their guidance. Our deepest foundations are steeped in Jewish and Christian teachings which call us to respond to the Holy's love by loving our neighbors as ourselves. We trust our own experience of awe and wonder, and we seek to live in harmony with the rhythms of nature. We know that there is much to be gleaned from world religions, and we are inspired by the words and deeds of prophetic people who challenge us to walk our talk. If you choose to belong here, be warned, you will be changed. You will be challenged to grow your soul. You will experience the joy of community and the friction of being part of something that is larger than any of our personal preferences and proclivities. There will be times that this community brings you great joy and times of great disappointment. We are fallible, fragile beings, and sometimes we react and respond from our woundedness rather than our wholeness. I include myself in that. Forgiving and being forgiven is what belonging is all about. So humans need three things to thrive: a sense of belonging, meaning, and purpose. So think of this as a three-legged stool. It needs all three legs in order to be fully functional. This is not an exercise in multiple choice where you choose one. I guess that would be a unicycle if it had a wheel on it. And I've never tried to ride one, but I imagine it's pretty hard. Although belonging can be hard work, I think it is the easiest leg on our invisible stool today. Maybe because it is the most fundamental need for our very survival. So we're a little more ready to work at it. But meaning and purpose, those are a little more ambiguous and a bit higher on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Meaning and purpose enrich our lives, but it is possible to survive without them. Well, for a while. Meaning making is part of what makes us human. It is the mystery of consciousness. It is discovering what is of ultimate importance to us as individuals. And our lives are richer and fuller when we have a deep sense of purpose, when we have a deep sense of meaning, which leads to articulating a purpose, a reason why we are here that finds expression in deeds. If you decide to be part of this community, to belong, you will be encouraged to discover what is of ultimate importance to you, that which gives your life meaning. The guiding parameters can be found in our principles and purposes and in our sources, which I have just woven into what it means to belong, because I'm crafty that way. If what gives your life meaning is based in love and service, you're going to feel right at home here. And you'll be aligned with this congregation's purpose to foster more compassion and justice in the world. Our three-legged stool, belonging, meaning, and purpose, open minds, loving hearts, helping hands. This is what it means to be part of this faith community, to belong. Today, as part of our ingathering, we enact belonging, meaning, and purpose. It is our custom, when we begin a new church year each fall, that we mark and ritualize the moment in the mingling of waters. Some of you may have brought some water from home or travels, while others will pour from the common source provided. And following the service, those viewing at home, sorry folks, those viewing at home are invited to bless a vessel of water, and following the service, take that water outside and pour it onto the ground, nurturing the earth and connecting with the waters that connect us all. Let it transform itself as it nourishes the ground. So with water at the ready, we are ready to begin our rite of ingathering. Oh wait, how'd they get in the picture? Those sneaky grand twins, they just end up anywhere. Maybe I'll make that part of what we do every week, and you have to find where they are in the slideshow. That would be fun for me. We bring waters. We bring waters which have touched the west, the north, the east, and the south, which come from the sky, the surface of the earth, and from deep wells and springs within the earth. We bring waters that belonged to lakes, streams, and reservoirs of fresh water that quench our thirst. We bring water that is the part of the great oceans and the seas that circle the globe, teeming with life, indeed the source of all life. We bring water to this place of meaning and sharing. And so I invite all of you, whether this is the place that you already consider your community, your home, or you're just thinking about it, or you wandered in, it's like, wow, how about that? Everyone is invited. If you brought water and you brought it in a big old jug, just a few drops will do. And there are, since the water comes from everywhere and has been here forever, as far as we know, it can symbolize whatever it needs to symbolize. I do ask that as you come forward, that you refrain from conversation, because the water that you bring, whether it's what you pour from these pitchers or you brought some physical water, might represent something really joyful. And you might want to tell, this came from my adventures, blah, blah, blah. But the person next to you might be bringing the water of tears and loss. And so I ask that we just be that container where there's room for all of that, for all of us to bring what we bring. It will be easiest, here comes the housekeeping piece, if you come from the side aisles, and we can come from both sides, and then return to your seats via the center aisle. And we will have just a better flow. I could go on, but I won't. So I invite you to take your place in this rite of ingathering as the music plays. There we go. Come forward as you will.
By the waters of Babylon, where we sat down, and where we wept, when we remember Zion. By the waters of Babylon, where we sat down, and where we wept,
In this water, there is new water formed in the atmosphere daily. There is old water, water as old as the earth, water from which life has evolved over the eons. This is a stream of life from which all life flows. All people are connected by this stream, for it runs through our veins and courses through the stems and leaves of plants. It is the symbol of the cleansing power of forgiveness and the faithful promise of healing love. It is the symbol in reality of the oneness that unites humankind and all of life. And so we bring water to give back to the earth, to mingle with all the waters of the earth, and to join all living things. We pour water to honor the earth that gives us life, to honor the community of all life, plants, animals, and people. Today we offer thanks for the gift of water and also for the web of life that we all share near and far. May our separate waters join into one sacred stream as we add our lives into the stream of living souls who live out love, work for justice, and hunger for peace. I'm going to invite you to rise in body or spirit as we sing together with the video, not playing the piano this time. In your teal hymnal, the words will be up front, but it's also in the teal hymnal 1007. There's a river flowing in my heart. Rise as you will.
There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my soul. And it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my soul.
In my heart.
There's a river flowing in my heart. There's a river flowing in my heart. And it's telling me
That I'm somebody.
that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my heart.
In my mind.
There's a river flowing in my mind. There's a river flowing in my mind. Telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my mind. There's a river.
We'll just let people on the video sing.
In my mind. There's a river flowing in my mind. And it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my mind. There's a river flowing. There's a river flowing. There's a river flowing in my soul.
You may be seated. I realized that we sang verse 3 through the wonderful piano solo. So, how about that? For our time of meditation today, we'll hear a story that is a retelling of a Sufi parable, The Little Stream Called to the Sea, woven together by Reverend Paul Beadle and read by Angela.
Once there was a little stream that dreamed of flowing to the sea. The stream started in an aquifer, a huge pool of water underground, but the call of the ocean was so strong that the stream pushed its way through nooks and cracks, up through the earth until it burst forth into the air and began its journey toward the sea. As its waters bubbled to the surface, they ran down the hill, carving the stream into the earth. Sometimes the stream babbled as it traveled. Sometimes it gurgled. Sometimes it roared. At times, the stream traveled alone. Its waters were so clear you could see the pebbles that lined its bed. At other times, the stream ran through great lakes, or tumbled over a cliff, or joined other streams to form a river, and then split again to travel alone. But always, always the little stream yearned to flow into the sea. Sometimes the stream would run fast and deep, eager to reach the sea. Fish swam in its waters as it carried them swiftly on its journey. Sometimes the stream would grow wide and slow, and it would carry boats on its back as it continued its journey. But always, always, the little stream yearned to flow into the sea. One day, just as the call of the ocean seemed to grow a bit stronger, the stream found itself growing sluggish. Its waters grew thick with mud, until sadly it pooled into a brackish mud hole right on the edge of the desert. Woe is me, thought the little stream. I'll never get to the sea. It tried going around the desert, but the desert was too wide. It tried going under the desert, but the desert was too deep. Still, even with mud in its ears, the little stream heard the call of the ocean and yearned to flow to the sea. After what seemed like a long time, as the stream just pooled there in the sun, it began to hear a second voice. "I can take you to the sea, little stream," whispered the wind. "Come with me. I'll carry you to the ocean shore." "How could you do that?" scoffed the stream. "You're only made of air." "I can carry you on a breeze," whispered the wind. "But you must be very brave, for you must let go of yourself and change." "I've changed many times," said the stream. "But this will be different," said the wind. The little stream paused, but deep within, the stream still yearned for the sea. The stream let go, and the wind picked it up, particle by particle. At first the stream was scared, for it felt lost. It was no longer a stream, but was turned sort of inside out and had become moisture swirling in the sky. The view was like nothing the little stream had ever seen before. Not only was the whole world laid out below it, but it was surrounded by sparkling jewels. Then what had been the stream realized that all of those sparkling jewels were parts of itself. Molecules of water, droplets of moisture, sparkling in the light. What had been the stream realized that it was truly beautiful on the inside. Next, the stream turned into moisture, saw that it was not alone, for the wind had whispered to other streams and ponds, and even to the morning dew upon the oasis. All had turned into moisture, and all their parts were also sparkling in the sun. Together they were even more beautiful, for the sunlight had changed them into all the colors of a rainbow. Then the little stream turned rainbow felt itself falling and falling and falling. All the other droplets were falling too, until plop, 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 all the droplets ran together into a mighty river which rushed down the mountainside, across a coastal plain, and into the sea, where the waves pushed it back and pulled it forward, and the currents carried it far out into the pulsing depths. The little stream was content. But I understand that every now and then the wind would breeze by, whispering to the currents in the sea, "Come with me, come with me." And the moisture would rise up into the wind and be carried away to start all over again.
Our journey this morning has mirrored the inward journey of the labyrinth, entering the sacred space through ritual and song, engaging hearts and minds with ideas and experiences. And now we move into the final act of emergence, embodying and acting upon what we have discovered. We bless one another and move into the week ahead, refreshed and ready to make a difference in our world. I'm going to call to the front the newly elected Board of Trustees of this congregation, and if they will join me up here, we are going to officially install them with a few words. There we go. Okay.
Is this good?
Sure. Housekeeping. So, you're not going to have to pass it back and forth, but at least just sort of capture who you are. So we are going to engage in a litany that will be up front. We are the meeting and have the regular print, and the italicized print belongs to the Board of Trustees. And we don't quite have all of our trustees up here today, but we have a good share. Linda, you're on the board. Yeah, I just called you out, girlfriend.
She's always been shy.
Yeah, you can blame Angela. She's the one that whispered your name. Okay, so the congregation begins. As our elected leaders, you hold the interests and needs of this congregation as a sacred trust.
We accept this responsibility.
Leaders are stewards of the spirit of cooperation and interdependence in our congregation.
We will be faithful stewards.
Responsibility for moving our church.
We will generate energy and enthusiasm for our common work.
Leaders embrace challenges with optimism.
We embrace the challenges before us with optimism and courage.
Leaders call forth the leadership gifts in others.
We will encourage new leaders.
We will accept leadership in our turn.
We will share our common work as broadly as possible. Count on that.
We will follow your leadership with responsible trust.
We will strive to deserve your confidence.
We will speak out on the issues before this congregation.
We will respect your opinions and be guided by your needs.
We rejoice in all that we do together and as a beacon of tolerance, faith, and reason in our community. Oh, there we go. Thank you. Thank you for being up here. Thank you. So you may have noticed I kept clunking over words because I had adjusted the slides to be more in keeping of where we are going with referring to ourselves as a beloved community, but I did not do that in my personal script. There's a learning curve here. So as our service draws to an end, it means our service in the world is ready to begin. And so we're going to tell you about a few opportunities. First, I want to call Diane Tucker up to give us a bit of an update on the weekend.
Incredible job of pulling together so many different facets of this activity. So I'm only here to report on one. We had a 110 basket raffle, which is the craziest thing I've ever done. And it's year one, so we're going to invite people to come back and really enjoy themselves. But we did raise $602 from the event.
Wow.
We also have a free room on the second floor of the religious education wing with all kinds of things that are renew and recycle. So come on up and see if there's something you can use. And thank you.
Okay, thank you. And I will just reiterate, that room is full of stuff that is free. It could go home with you, and you could give it to other people. Do your Christmas shopping. Come on. When you leave the chapel, take a left, and the faith development stairs, you'll find it. If you find a room full of stuff, just take things, unless it's my office, and then don't do that. So I also want to invite you, if you'd like to support the ongoing ministry of this congregation, that you may do so. And you can text your gift. The number is on the screen. You can go to our website, uuamherst.org, and click on the giving link. Or there is a green basket, actually, on the meditation table that you can add some contributions in as you go. So I'm going to invite you to rise in body or spirit as we sing our closing blessing, and then to remain standing as we extinguish our chalice together. So please rise for our closing blessing. If you don't know the song, you will by the third verse. Travel light and travel easy, till I see you once again. Travel light and travel easy, and remember I'm your friend. May the road rise up to greet you as you leave your past behind. I will think about you gently, and I'll hold you in my mind. Travel light, look at one another, and travel easy, till I see you once again. Travel light and travel easy, and remember I'm your friend. There is coffee afterwards as well. Angela, would you be so kind as to take the flame? Please join me in our chalice extinguishing words. When we take fire from our chalice, it does not become less, it becomes more. And so we extinguish our chalice, but we take its light and warmth with us, multiplying their power by all of our lives and sharing it with the world. Go in peace.